Hey Pups, Top Pup here, Puppy Ninja, and we're back with Seduce Me Part 4. I'm using a new recording thing, so this should be working. Check sound real quick. Turn up the volume a little bit. I want you guys to actually be able to hear the game. Sorry about that. I need to be able to hear the game too. It's like, tell what's going on. Go away. No, don't new game. So this is part 4. We're back here. We're talking about some girl named Lisette. So yeah. I just had a brownie before this. I am ready to go. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or anything, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Not me. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had a future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail!
Unsurprisingly, Susie was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
Me and you both, Naomi. I like both answers because they both relate to me. Like, you know, I wish I was fast getting out of my classes too, just because I didn't want to be late to my next classes, so I really just don't like that class. I like my one class. Actually, no, I like all my classes. At least right now I do. But, you know, since I went with Susie on the first one, this is Naomi's choice, so I'll go with Naomi with this one. She gave me a smile, relieved by the fact that I felt the same as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
Ha ha ha. I do have to admit I was spacing out, but just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian. I can't talk.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
I like her eyes. Speaking of eyes, I really like her eyes. I don't really care for Susie's eyes. I don't know, that's just a random thought from Paige. Puppy Ninja. You know my name anyway, so. Despite... If only I knew how to edit. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dictate the other possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends ever since preschool. I know it doesn't say that, but it should say that.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
Haha, you do like spicy food after all. God, I can't laugh. Not even like the fake laugh. I can't laugh. Like, I have a very weird laugh. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I love how her face doesn't change a lot. Like, we always keep that look. And to me, with the way that, like, that eyebrows is darker, to me it's like resting bitch face. I don't know.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with mac and cheese and a soda. But only the soda's Mountain Dew. Not sponsored, just an addiction. As my favorite YouTuber, Matt Pat. Well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite YouTubers, Matt Pat, would say. About his Diet Coke. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Susie leaned back in a chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
All right, then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know. Let's talk about...
Suzu is my spirit animal sometimes, but so's Naomi.
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
So I'm being silent. I thought somebody was going to come inside my room.
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
She's more of a redhead than a blonde, in my opinion.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there are not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria stood up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon. By rolling thunder now and then, the skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I wanted Not that I was looking up. In fact, I was looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. God, for some reason I lose my place and then I can't read. It was only when the speeches ended that I was finally able to raise my head. Grandpa! No! Grandpa! I like that. That actually looks really cool. I know, I'm being really bad because this is a funeral and all, and I'm acting like this, but I've read through this scene so many times before. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing, holding up a large umbrella for a small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone for us was his father's name. Grandpa! My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked toward us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from the suitcase and began to read aloud his contacts.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I couldn't believe my ears. I'd earned the family estate at 18? Well, you can technically live on your own, so come on, girl, party. That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. And then Dad becomes a dick.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
He has pixie ears. Look at that. He has pixie ears. He is like the only person I will ever talk over his dialogue just because I don't like him at all. Like, he has one redeeming moment, but everything else, any other time you see him, it's just no.
Dear.
And you only get the redeeming moment if you do something correctly.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in.
That's so sad.
What a stubborn old man.
Shut up, Dad. Goodness. I like our mom. Our mom can come visit whenever. You, once a month. Mom can come twice a week. You can come once a month because I do need to see you. Because you are my dad. And I love my dad. But you're a pain in the butt. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, what do you think?
Dot. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
See what I said? What I said is true.
David!
That face, though. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed away? That's just rude. Not rude, but disrespectful to the dead, I think. Like, just bury them the same day. Don't even have, like, a actual ceremony, just in the grave, in the ground. Just, that's it. Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. God, I'm triggered by this so much that I can't speak. Triggered. If I could, I'd put a big triggered thing over it. His disdain for my father was almost pitiful. Hey, in my English class, that's like a vocab word for us, and I know what that means. Kind of. Something about hate. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only things that came out was a choked sob.